Old school plyometrics teach us that good explosiveness training has been good for multiple years. Power skips are a great way to develop vertical force production, and because of the horizontal momentum, we have to have a high amount of braking forces to decelerate our body to be able to bounce up, which is great for developing your vertical jump and your max velocity speed. Bounding is a great exercise where you get that big thigh split, a lot of hip flexion, a lot of hip extension. It teaches you how to produce horizontal force. It develops your reactive strength index, and you have to get off the ground fast and cover a lot of distance. It's the truest plyometric you could ever do. Triple jumps are going to be a great way to develop that acceleration pattern. So it's very similar to bounding. We're getting that good cross extensor reflex. We're getting really big ranges of motion in hip flexion and hip extension, developing the reactive strength, but we're also developing horizontal force production by trying to jump as far as we possibly can, developing that power from that posterior chain, which is what's needed for acceleration. Lateral jumps are also amazing. When you're trying to get off the ground fast, you're going to develop some stiffness qualities that you can't develop when you're only going linear. Actually, acceleration has a lot to do with rotational power, so lateral jumps should be in every program. Then we got hurdle hops, which he calls bag jumps, but it's essentially just hurdle hops where you're bouncing off the ground fast, developing the reactive strength index, getting that stretch shortening cycle primed, and you're trying to get off the ground in under 0.2 seconds while bouncing off the ground high, but you can't make them too high or it's going to make it more muscle dominant. Now, single leg hop is a little bit more muscle dominant of a movement, but when you focus on getting off the ground in under 0.2 seconds, this is a great way to develop your single leg RSI, which is really important for sprint speed, might be more important than your actual reactive strength index score. So make sure you're doing all these type of intensive plyometrics around 2 to 3 times per week with good volume and good progressions, because they're not going to hurt your body as long as you don't do too much dosage.